Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. First of all, I have to tell you, I have to do this the old-fashioned way, or the old way that I did it with the mobile, because I can't find my webcam. And there's something very, very important that I wanted to share with you right now. I wasn't intending on doing a video this evening because it is way too hot in here and I'm like sweltering. But there's something really, really important that I need to share with you, because I think that a lot of intuitives may be getting this and it may be happening. And I just want to give the heads up for it, because I did not think it would happen to me, but it did. And it's happened to several others. I think Susan Lynn did a video about it saying that it happened to her. And what it is basically on Sunday morning, our time here in Germany, Saturday night in the US, one of the henchmen for the Big Fat Orange Problem transitioned. And I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to get his energy in here, because I've already had it once and I don't want to get it again. But at any rate, he transitioned, and I think I think it happened so suddenly that he was not even prepared for it. So it happened like that. And he, you know, wasn't prepared for it. He didn't know that it was going to happen. I don't know if this is anything to do with why I can't find my webcam. I have no idea. But what I'm going to tell you is this. He is trying to contact intuitives. He tried to contact Susan Lynn, and she said, I don't want any part of it. I want nothing to do with it. And I feel exactly the same way. I do not want his energy. I do not want to talk to him. But I think he's desperate. And I think the reason I say that he's desperate is because he was crying. I mean, like ugly crying. And I could hear it in my head that he was ugly crying. He's like, I need help. I need help. And I'm like, well, you're not going to get it from me because I don't want to talk to you. And I think this is where Deborah actually mentioned that people have to draw lines and say, once the door opens, it opens and people can contact you from beyond. But she also told me that it is important that people set limits and set barriers as to how much they want to accept and how much they want to have. And for me, it is just really creepy. I mean, the whole thing is just very, very creepy. I have my cards and my rods and stuff, but what I want to do is I want to see if what I experienced, if it was real or not, because I don't know. And it's very, very strange that this happened, but it did. And this was when I was alone and I was walking back from the taking the garbage down. And I mean, this is really showing that sometimes when we are alone, we are kind of at our most vulnerable state when it comes to this kind of thing. So here we go. I've got my pendulum here. Okay. Around and around means they're ready for a question. And I can't really move it, so I can't do it. So you can see that I'm not waggling away, but I'm not. I'm just holding it. And what I want to know is, did this person try to contact me? It went into yes, it did. Okay, clear, please. Am I spiritually safe? And now it's saying no. Okay, clear, please. Is any intuitive spiritually safe from this? Okay, it says yes, we are safe from it. Thank you. Clear, please. Is there something I must do to protect myself from this? And it's going no. So this is kind of a mixed bag here. But yeah, it is. The sensations are getting stronger. The energy is shifting. there's a lot of stuff going on, and we're just in this flux right now, where we are kind of contending with stuff. So, what I'll do is I'll just say keep yourself in the light, stay in the light, and don't let this negative energy come into you if you don't want it. And because I'm still going by what Deborah said, that once you open the door's open, and you can't really close it again. It's like, you just can't. So what I'm going to do is I want to look into this a little bit further, not too far, because the energy is so yucky. But I want to look into the spiritual, what we can do when we are surprised, shocked, and otherwise just uncertain about what it is we can do in this kind of situation. So I'm just going to, I've got the Gilded Tarot Royale, and I'm going to pull a couple of cards. I'm just going to see what the energy is like, because this is like very, very strange. I wanted to do a July reading, but then, and then all this stuff started happening, and one of the senators has disappeared, and they're saying that he is alive and well, and yet it looks like to me that he is taking full advantage, or that his people are taking full advantage of AI. And so this is like, just a crazy, crazy bunch of stuff going on. So let me give these guys a good mix here, and we'll see what the energy looks like. So, yeah, as I said, I can't find my webcam. I have no idea where it is. I think when we went to the north of the country, I took it with me, and I think maybe it's downstairs in the suitcase. And I'll be bringing it up this week to do our trip. But right now, I just have my mobile here, and it's all I can do right now, because I don't have any. My old thing doesn't work on the computer anymore, because I changed it and I did the settings, and I didn't feel like doing it, so I just figured, okay, I'll just use a mobile to do this. And then once I upload it, I can delete the video, and it doesn't take up so much space on my mobile. But anyway, so what's the energy? What is the energy? What's going on here? So we got the Hierophant. Oops, here we go. The Hierophant. And this is about just finding your spiritual center and being able to kind of cope with everything that's going on. So there's like a calming feel in the energy that is going on. And the Hierophant is really, for me, it's about that sense of finding the balance and finding the calm, and not really allowing yourself to get too drawn into the negative energy that may be going around. And this could be anything regarding what actually happened, and whether or not there is some kind of nefarious work at play or what have you. I mean, it's just like just taking everything and saying logic. Use your logic. Look at things logically. Don't try to find villainy in a place where there may not be any. It just may be natural, and that it's okay. And from what I've understood, that it was a natural passing. It was sudden, but it was natural. And that's my grandfather. He had a heart attack in the middle of the night, and he was no longer with us. We didn't, it was a shock, but it was fast. And that's exactly what happened here. So I think that's what the energy is telling us, is that we have to just keep a calmness about it, and not read into something that isn't there. It's crossed by the Knight of Wands. And right now my brain is not functioning right, so I'm going to pull out my cheat sheet just to make sure. Knight of Wands. Your passion is moving you ahead very quickly. So this is happening. Things are happening really fast. So that's I have to try and remember. But yeah, this things are happening really quickly, and that they're happening at a very fast pace, and that basically all we can do is just kind of allow ourselves to move forward um, in the pace that is right for us and stuff. So I think that that's kind of sort of what it's saying, and it is happening very quickly. So we have to just kind of go with the flow. The underarching energy is the Nine of Pentacles. And to me, this is about having everything you need. And I think that that's what this is all about. Living life, and it is like having all that you need. And whether you require more or whether you require less, it doesn't really matter. You just have to, you have what you need, and that's what you do. You go with it. And so that's what I think what that implies. In the immediate past, you have the Three of Cups. Well, there was this, a lot of people were celebrating. He was getting ready to propose some new legislation in Congress, and he was all proud and celebratory about it. And then suddenly he's no longer here. And, what happens to what he wanted to do? Nothing, pretty much. It's not going to go forward. Nothing's going to happen with it because he's no longer with us. The overarching energy is the Eight of Wands. And this is, again, about moving forward, about propelling yourself forward and kind of, allowing yourself to, kind of go with the flow on this. So I think that's what this is. I think that this is just, it's about life being this progression, and that we are in a progression. We are in a state of progression, that we are moving forward. And that is what we have to kind of deal with. Oh, it's so hot in here. Okay. In the immediate future, we have the Four of Pentacles. And this is about the people who are going to try and use this to their own benefit. And I mean, this happens every time something happens. People are going to use whatever events that happen. They're going to try and use it to their own benefit. They're going to try and make some kind of benefit, they're going to try and benefit from it in some way, shape, or form. And that's what's going to happen. I mean, that's what's going to come forward. And it's already starting. I mean, people are starting to, basically use this to their own political means to justify their intentions and what have you. Internally, we have the Queen of Wands. Oh, this is a beautiful card. I don't think I've ever pulled this card in this deck. But isn't that beautiful? It's a beautiful card. And it's got lots of oranges and stuff. The Queen of Wands is your passion is quietly contained, ready to burst out at any minute. You are seeking an outlet for your energy. So, yeah, again, this is I think this is like internally, I think people are finding that the energy within them is coming out now. It's kind of the feelings that people have, the strong feelings that people have about this individual are emerging, and people are, now talking about it, and they're now basically, they're like letting it all out. They're releasing it. There's a lot of releasing going on. And I think that that's the energy that we're in right now, is we are sitting in an area, or in an energy where we are trying really, really hard to, we're trying to not contain it, but the opposite of contain it, where we let it go, where we release it. So there's a big release happening. People are releasing this, and they're saying, we're not doing this anymore. We're not doing this anymore. Externally, we have the Death card. Okay. Well, this is what's going on. The energy of the people who are no longer with us in this instance, in this political, thing, the movers and shakers in the political spectrum, a lot of them are starting to realize their own mortality. And I think that this is really a wake-up call to all of them, that we are mortal, that it doesn't matter how much money we have, it doesn't matter how much power we have, everybody's eventually going to come to this moment. And I think that this is what the energy is now telling people. And they're now recognizing that they are mortal, and that mortality belongs to all of us, and that we are, we're not here forever. And So this is ultimately the outcome for everybody, that we will ultimately all face this. But this may be also why this person is trying to contact me, and why I've put up a barrier saying no, I don't want to talk to him. This is the shock that this person may have gone through because of what's happened. And so that's you know, hopes and fears is the King of Wands. And this guy, he wants to sit on top of the world. He wants to be, the king is like the ruler, the one who is, and there's a lot of royal cards in this, a lot of wands energy. And this is about, to me, this is about just not only moving forwards, but having the power, focus, determination, and driven. They're driven, a lot of them are driven by their own greed and by what they want. And so they're moving forward, yes. They're moving at a pace, yes. But ironically, we've got the Knight of Wands, we've got the Queen of Wands, and here's the King of Wands, all in the same reading. And it's all this energy of wanting power and wanting to concentrate that power into one place. And that the world is moving beyond that. The world is moving beyond this notion that that there's one person has to have all the power, they have to hold all the cards, or they have to have all the stuff, and people are like moving beyond that, and they're saying, no, this isn't working. This isn't working for us. The final outcome is the Two of Pentacles. And I think that for me, that means basically that we have a choice how we respond and how we react to what's going on and what's happening. So are we happy? Are we sad? Are we indifferent? Somebody, I posted the question on my Facebook a couple of days ago, and I said, a person who has done so much evil in the world, do I have a right to celebrate his passing? It is an honest question. Do I have the right to celebrate that this person is no longer with us? And I have not come up with an answer. I do not know. And people ask me, how do you feel about it? And I was like, I have no real feelings about it. The funniest thing is I started, and I think it was the negative energy that was coming into me. I started asking myself, if there was any, if somebody else did something to cause this. Did somebody else? These got all mixed up, but anyway, I'll just separate them later. And I was like, I asked myself, did somebody else have something to do with his passing? So I'm going to ask the pendulum here because I want to know. Okay, round and round. Are you ready? Okay. Was there another person or persons who were involved in the person's passing? No. Okay, clear, please. Was this individual unhealthy? Did he have an unhealthy lifestyle? Goes right into yes. Yes, he did. Clear, please. Okay. Did he do something shortly before he passed that contributed to his passing? No. Okay, so somebody said that he was an alcoholic. My father was an alcoholic, so I don't hold anything against anybody for being alcoholic. But somebody did a reading about this, and they said that this individual had issues with alcoholism, and that it was a part of his DNA, or not DNA, but part of his reincarnation or so as. So I don't know, but it's gone very, very still now. Okay, clear, please. Will anyone else face transition in the next week or so? Okay, it's saying no, but I'm not sure. Because sometimes people say, okay. Um, one more question. Can I ask one more question? Okay, they're saying yes, I can. Okay. Is the senator from Kentucky still among the living? No. Okay. Um, clear, please. Was the photograph that was posted online, was it AI? Okay, it was not AI. Okay. Clear, please. Was that picture taken within the last 5 years? Okay, it's not answering. Okay, but it wasn't AI, but it was, I mean, it's an actual photograph, but, okay, let me try one more. Okay, clear, please. Was that photograph taken this year? No, it wasn't. Okay, so that's, we know that, I mean, that was him and his wife, but we know that we're our suspicions about the photograph are, I think, pretty accurate. I think people are, you know, they're calling foul on that. So that's what I've got. But at any rate, protect your energy. Do what you can to protect yourself, protect your energy. Um, when somebody who is evil passes, I get the impression that there's almost an instant regret that they may carry. And like and I just got the image, I just got a flash, and it was like the image of, I don't know if you've ever watched the movie, there was an older version of the movie Christmas Carol. I think George C. Scott was in it. I'm not really sure, or one of these guys was in it, or Albert Finney, I think was the person that I'm thinking of. Albert Finney played Scrooge in that, and one of the things that happened is, just before he began to meet the spirits of past, present, and future, he had an experience where he saw spirits from other people carrying cash boxes and other things. So all these, people who were evil or they did really bad things during their lives, and they were carrying cash boxes around, and they wanted to help people who were, you know, who were poor and destitute and what have you, and they wanted to help those people, and they were trying and trying and trying, and they couldn't have any contact with those people. And I think that that's kind of sort of what the intuitive community is now contending with regards to this, because this is like the ghost of, from one of these stories, who's trying to contact anybody that he can find that will listen to him, that will talk to him. And people have to do what they can to protect their energy, because if you let that negative energy in, then you could put yourself into a sense of danger. And that's what this was telling me earlier when I asked if we were spiritually safe, and the answer, or something to that effect, and I said, am I spiritually safe? And the answer was no. And that was because There is that sense of being oh, what's the word I want to think? What is the word I'm thinking of? Where a person is subjected or could be subjected to that kind of energy, if they're not careful. And it's like the people who like play with Ouija boards or something, and they don't really understand it, and then they think, oh, this is a joke, haha, let's go and do this, and yada yada yada. I will not mess with the Ouija boards. I'm doing good with just a pendulum, but I will not mess with an Ouija board. But that's just me. And what they said was that the person in question was so, they became subjected to that kind of energy and that kind of negativity, and it became very very difficult for them to you know to feel free and stuff. They felt, there was paranoia, there was that sense that somebody's like looking over your shoulder or something. And so that's I think is what's going on, and I think that that's what a lot of people are kind of experiencing right now. So that's why I say be careful. And if you want to let them in, let them in. But if you don't, then just put up those barriers. Do not let them in, and don't let yourself be subjected to that kind of energy, because it's not good. So anyway, so that's what I got today. Yeah, that was really really creepy. But I was casually walking back from taking the garbage down, and then suddenly I hear this crying in my head, and I was like, going, I don't think so. So anyway, so yeah, Susan Lynn had it. She had that experience where he was trying to contact her, and now trying to contact me, and probably trying to contact other people, and it's getting darker, so I'm going to close. So take care. Have a great day. Yeah, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully I'll find my webcam by then and I can upload from my computer. It's a little bit faster than with the mobile. Okay, but I'll get this up. Take care. Have a good day, and bye. And namaste, of course. As always, namaste.